Before the dazzling lights of arcades beckoned and home consoles became a staple in every living room, video games began quietly, almost secretly, in the hushed halls of university labs. These weren't commercial ventures but rather academic explorations into the potential of this new technology. Early games like Tennis for Two, 1958, a marvel of its time, and the visually stunning space combat simulator Space War, 1962, were primarily experiments, demonstrations of computing power, not designed for mass entertainment or profit. Tennis for Two, displayed on an oscilloscope, was incredibly basic, just a dot representing the ball and a line for the net. But it proved, perhaps for the first time, that computers, these massive and complex machines, could be playful, engaging, and even fun. Space War was a leap forward, letting two players engage in intense battles with spaceships, skillfully dodging the gravitational pull of a central star, a concept far ahead of its time. Shared across university networks, often late at night when the mainframes were less busy, it spread the revolutionary idea of digital fun, planting the seeds for a future industry. It was this very concept, the potential for accessible digital entertainment, that caught the eye of Nolan Bushnell, who saw Space War, and immediately recognized its potential to bring games to the public, beyond the confines of academia. His first attempt to realize this vision was Computer Space, 1971. But its complex controls and somewhat abstract gameplay proved too challenging, too bewildering for the average bar patron or passerby. He quickly learned a crucial lesson, that for a game to succeed in the public sphere, it needed to be incredibly simple, intuitive, and instantly gratifying. That realization led to the creation of Pong, 1972. Two paddles controlled by simple knobs, a bouncing square representing the ball, and an experience that delivered instant fun and competitive excitement. Pong's inherent simplicity was its stroke of genius. Virtually anyone, regardless of age or background, could pick it up and play, understanding the core mechanics within seconds. The very first Pong machine, placed in a local bar, quickly became so popular that it literally overflowed with quarters, a testament to its immediate and widespread appeal. Suddenly, video games were no longer confined to the realm of scientists and researchers in their isolated labs. They were accessible, engaging, and most importantly, they were for everyone to enjoy. The phenomenal success of Pong served as the catalyst, the spark that ignited the nascent video game industry, setting the stage for decades of innovation and growth. These early games, born from experimentation and a desire to entertain, were the initial spark that ignited a global phenomenon, a cultural shift that continues to shape our world today. They demonstrated in a tangible and exciting way that play could be digital, interactive, and endlessly engaging, and that simple idea would ultimately change the world as we knew it. From the once secret labs where these concepts were first explored, to the bustling public spaces of arcades and bars, games were poised and ready to break out, to captivate the masses and usher in a new era of entertainment. The incredible journey from academic experiment to mainstream entertainment had officially begun, paving the way for countless innovations and unforgettable gaming experiences. The simple blips and bloops of Pong, the iconic sounds of early video games, echoed far beyond that first crowded bar, resonating with a generation eager for new forms of entertainment. The world was on the cusp of a revolution, about to discover the unparalleled joy, the addictive challenge, and the communal experience of video games. The golden age of the arcade, a period of unprecedented creativity and innovation, was just around the corner, promising a future filled with pixelated adventures and unforgettable characters. The first sparks had indeed caught fire, igniting a passion for gaming that would spread like wildfire across the globe. The captivating story of video games, a tale of innovation, creativity, and cultural impact, was only just beginning to unfold. And it all started with a deceptively simple game of electronic table tennis, a humble beginning that would forever change the landscape of entertainment. Pong's unexpected success acted as a catalyst, unleashing a wave of arcades across the nation and beyond. Entrepreneurs and dreamers, sensing a lucrative opportunity, rushed to establish these new entertainment hubs. Arcades rapidly transformed into the vibrant heart of youth culture, a place where teenagers and young adults flocked to socialize, compete, and escape the everyday. These havens of entertainment were characterized by their distinctive atmosphere, dark rooms pulsating with the glow of neon lights, and punctuated by the constant, satisfying clatter of quarters being fed into the insatiable machines. Each coin represented a chance at glory, a moment of excitement. Each machine beckoned with the promise of a new adventure, a fresh challenge, and a unique world to explore. You could shoot aliens, eat dots in a maze, or even save princesses from the clutches of a giant ape. Space Invaders, released in 1978, brought a new level of tension and excitement to the arcade scene. Players were captivated by its relentless alien march and the game's now iconic synthesized sound effects. The game became a cultural phenomenon, particularly in Japan, where its immense popularity actually caused a nationwide coin shortage. Then, in 1980, Pac-Man arrived and changed everything we thought we knew about arcade games. Here was a friendly yellow hero, a game with no violence and a universal appeal that transcended age and gender. Pac-Man wasn't just a game, he became a superstar, his cheerful face plastered everywhere from lunchboxes to t-shirts. Donkey Kong in 1981 not only delivered a unique gaming experience, but also introduced the world to Mario, and Galaga brought even more intense and complex challenges to the space shooter genre. Achieving high scores became the stuff of legends. Seeing your initials emblazoned at the top of the leaderboard meant you ruled the arcade, a true champion among your peers. But arcades were about much more than just the games themselves. They were vibrant, bustling communities, social hubs where friendships were forged and memories were made. Friends competed fiercely, cheered each other on, and eagerly shared secret strategies and hidden techniques to conquer the toughest challenges. This was the golden age of arcades, a time of unprecedented innovation, boundless excitement, and a palpable sense of possibility. These groundbreaking games laid the very foundation for everything that was to follow in the world of video games. The arcade served as the crucible where video games truly became a cultural force, shaping entertainment and influencing generations. And the world, captivated by the flashing lights and addictive gameplay, was completely and utterly hooked. The arcade boom, once a vibrant explosion of lights and sounds, began to fade, its energy dissipating like a forgotten dream. Arcades that were once bustling hubs of social activity slowly emptied out, and by 1983 the North American game market crashed spectacularly. The shelves of game stores, once overflowing with the latest titles, became barren landscapes, a testament to the industry's sudden and dramatic fall from grace. Too many bad games flooded the market, oversaturating it with titles that simply didn't deliver on their promises. Games like the infamous E.T., rushed to market and critically panned, became symbols of the industry's decline. Stores were flooded with unsold inventory. Shelves were full to bursting, but nobody wanted to buy the games that lined them. Consumer confidence had plummeted. Many thought video games were just a passing fad, a fleeting trend that had run its course and was destined to be forgotten. But in Japan, Nintendo, a company with a rich history and a keen eye for innovation, had a different vision for the future of gaming. They believed in the power of quality and the importance of fun, focusing on creating experiences that would captivate players. The Famicom console, with its innovative design and engaging games, was a massive hit in Japan, proving that there was still a market for quality home entertainment. To win over America, a market still reeling from the crash, Nintendo knew they needed a bold strategy. Nintendo rebranded the Famicom as the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, carefully redesigning it to look less like a toy and more like a VCR, a common household appliance. They even added a robot accessory, Robbie, to further distance themselves from the perception of being just another video game company. But the real star of the show, the game that would truly capture the hearts and minds of players, was Super Mario Bros. A vibrant, colorful, and imaginative world filled with whimsical characters and unforgettable landscapes. It was also packed with secrets, hidden pathways, and delightful surprises that rewarded exploration and kept players coming back for more. Nintendo promised stores they'd buy back any unsold systems, a bold move that demonstrated their confidence and commitment. They were taking all the risk, shouldering the burden of potential failure to reassure retailers and build trust. The NES not only revived the video game industry, but also redefined what home entertainment could be. It made gaming cool again, transforming it from a niche hobby into a mainstream pastime enjoyed by families and friends. Nintendo's gamble, a calculated risk based on a belief in quality and innovation, paid off handsomely. The NES quickly became a household name, a fixture in living rooms across the country. Super Mario Bros. Set a new standard for what video games could be, showcasing the potential for immersive storytelling and engaging gameplay. The video game industry, once on the brink of collapse, was reborn, stronger and more vibrant than ever before. A new era of home gaming had begun, ushering in a generation of consoles and games that would shape the future of entertainment. Nintendo's hero, the NES, had saved the day, rescuing the industry from the depths of despair and ushering in a new golden age. The world was ready for more adventures, eager to explore the vast and ever-expanding library of games that the NES had to offer. The crash was over. Games were here to stay, solidifying their place as a permanent and beloved form of entertainment. Nintendo's NES ruled the 80s, but the 90s brought competition. Sega entered the scene with the Genesis, faster, flashier, and ready to challenge Nintendo. The first console war began. Mario vs. Sonic, playground debates, and fierce loyalty. Sega's Sonic was cool and fast, a perfect rival for Mario. Sega's ads targeted teens. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Nintendo fired back with the Super Nintendo. Better graphics, legendary games. The rivalry pushed both companies to innovate. Genesis had sports and action, SNES had epic adventures and RPGs. The 16-bit era was a golden age for 2D gaming. Artists and designers created unforgettable worlds with pixels. The competition made games better for everyone. Console wars became a cultural event. Kids chose sides, but everyone won with amazing games. The battle for living rooms shaped a generation. The stage was set for the next big leap. Gaming was about to go 3D. The 16-bit era peaked and 3D was the next frontier. Early 3D games looked blocky, but they hinted at new possibilities. Sony's PlayStation, 1995, used CDs for bigger, more cinematic games. PlayStation attracted older players with mature titles and stunning visuals. Nintendo's N64, 1996, stuck with cartridges but introduced the analog stick, revolutionizing control. Super Mario 64 redefined gaming open worlds, freedom, and discovery. Zelda Ocarina of Time showed 3D's storytelling power. 3D changed how games were played and imagined. Players could explore, experiment, and get lost in virtual worlds. The leap to 3D was a turning point. Games became immersive adventures. The future of gaming was wide open. A new era had begun. While consoles went 3D, PCs connected players online. The internet let gamers compete and cooperate worldwide. Early shooters like Quake and Unreal Tournament built online communities and fierce rivalries. Teams or clans formed and battled for glory. MMORPGs like Ultima Online and EverQuest created vast worlds for thousands to explore together. Players made friends, formed guilds, and lived second lives in fantasy lands. World of Warcraft, 2004, brought online gaming to the masses, creating a global phenomenon. Online play turned gaming into a social experience. Victories were shared, and adventures were endless. Games became a way to connect, not just compete. The world of gaming grew bigger and closer than ever before. The digital frontier was now a shared space. The age of online gaming had arrived. The world was playing together. Gaming went mobile with Nintendo's Game Boy, 1989. Simple, portable, and powered by Tetris, it was a sensation. Pokémon followed, turning kids everywhere into trainers on the go. Competitors like Sega's Game Gear and Atari's Lynx couldn't match Game Boy's battery life or game library. Nintendo's handhelds dominated for decades, evolving with the Game Boy Color, Advance, and DS. The DS introduced touchscreens. Sony's PSP brought console-quality games to your pocket. Today, smartphones put gaming in everyone's hands. Portable play is everywhere. A direct line from the Game Boy's humble start. Handheld gaming changed how, where, and when we play. The world became a playground. The revolution fit in your pocket. The 2000s brought high-definition graphics and cinematic worlds. Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii transformed living rooms with stunning visuals and new ways to play. Open-world games like GTA V and Skyrim offered endless exploration. Indie games flourished thanks to digital stores and easy-to-use tools. Small teams created hits like Minecraft Braid and Journey, proving creativity mattered more than budget. Indie games brought fresh ideas and emotional stories. The modern era is defined by choice. Blockbusters or indie gems, console or mobile. Games now tackle complex stories and mature themes. The line between platforms is blurring play anywhere, anytime. Gaming is a central part of entertainment. The universe of games is bigger than ever. The possibilities are endless. From Pong's blip to today's vast worlds, video games have become a cultural powerhouse. They out-earn movies and music, but their impact goes deeper. Characters like Mario and Lara Croft are global icons. Millions watch esports and streamers. Gaming is both play and spectacle. Games are used in education, medicine, and to build friendships across continents. They teach problem-solving, teamwork, and empathy. Video games are a force for connection and creativity. The story of games is still being written, with new chapters every year. What began as a lab experiment is now a rich, influential art form. The next time you pick up a controller, remember the journey. Games have shaped generations and changed the world. The adventure continues, and the best is yet to come.